In fact, that story we just ended is part of our question of the day, and I'll read it out to you once it's posted, asking, do you think John Steenhuisen's reactions are correct? Now, the trial of 3 policemen charged with the 2020 shooting and killing of a Down syndrome teenager, Nathaniel Julies, in Eldorado Park, south of Johannesburg, continues at the Palm Ridge Magistrates Court. Yesterday, details of the 16-year-old's death, allegedly at the hands of the police, emerged in court. A state's second witness, SAPS officer Mandla Sithole, was at the scene with 4 of his colleagues, 2 of whom stand accused of murder. Sithole says they parked the police van next to a stationary truck they suspected was carrying stolen car parts. The matter is set until the 29th of October. Let's take you live to those proceedings. All right, we're taking you to Mbalenhle, who is at the proceedings. Mbalenhle, very good morning to you. Please set the scene for us.
Good morning, Desiree. It is day 3 of that trial against those 3 police officers accused of shooting and killing or orchestrating the death of the late Nathaniel Julies. We know he was a 16-year-old Down syndrome boy who was killed for doing apparently nothing based on one witness's testimony. Yesterday, we saw one of the police officer's colleagues who was present at the scene take the stand. Now, this is Mandla Sithole, who was a student constable at the time. He testified about how accused one, who is the one who pulled the trigger, knew of Nathaniel Julies' condition and informed the colleagues about his condition. But it seems as though that was not enough to stop her from pulling the trigger when Nathaniel Julies was standing next to a truck that was suspected to be carrying stolen car parts. Now, those are the details that have emerged so far. The trial started on Monday, where we saw the mother of Nathaniel Julies break down in court when she heard from the first witness who took the stand, Tasneem, who is a neighbor there, who said she stepped out of her house to go and inspect when she heard a loud bang, and we saw the mother of Nathaniel Julies just breaking down there. And in an interview later on, she explained to the SABC that she felt as though she was reliving that day, and she went back to that day and the fact that Nathaniel Julies was actually alone as a child. We also heard about how the two accused concocted a story about a shootout and involved a third accused who's facing a charge of being an accessory after the fact to try and plant evidence at the scene of the crime to make it seem as though there was indeed a shootout. Now, what we've learned so far is that the police officer, accused number 2, went and took Nathaniel Julies from under the car, from under the van that was situated there, and took him into the police van, trying to get medical attention, to take him to a medical facility so he could get medical attention. However, he was pronounced dead when they arrived at Barra Hospital. So it seems as though Nathaniel was alive when he was actually put out in a police van and taken to a medical facility with the hope that, he would then get the much needed medical assistance, and which would essentially save his life eventually. But we then heard that upon hearing, after Nathaniel Julies was pronounced dead, we heard that the police officers then concocted a plan and spoke to accused number 3 to work together with them in tampering with the scene of the crime and planting evidence at the scene of the crime.
The mother says that this took her back to that day. How are the courts processing all of this information?
Well, so So far, we were expecting to hear the testimony from one key witness who has had a warrant of arrest issued against her yesterday. She is the daughter of the first state witness. Now, this second witness is actually a key witness because she was an eyewitness and saw firsthand what happened to Nathaniel Julies, and she is the one who actually went and alerted the family. We understand that witness 2 and the first witness have actually corroborated are actually confirming each other's statements because they both talk about a big bang. We understand that witness 1 said there was a big bang and witness 2 is also saying that there was a big bang. So that is what has come out so far. We understand that yesterday the judge also dismissed and rejected an application by the lawyers of the accused for the court to reject the evidence coming from a recording that came from witness 2, which is Dumsani Sithole, who is the constable who was present on the scene, and the judge saying essentially that the law that the lawyers are quoting is being misinterpreted so far. So that is essentially what we've heard so far. We do expect the court to continue. We do expect to hear more details surrounding the death of Nathaniel Julies. We understand that he was shot and killed at the hands of the police, allegedly at the hands of the police, and this sparked outrage in the community of Eldorado Park, which then prompted the community to protest against the police and the incident.
Mbali, thank you so much. Of course, we will await the beginning of that process and I hope you bring us more detail. Mbalenhle Nthethwa there for you. You're watching the agenda.